Coming to you live from our Newsfirst studio here in Colombo on MTV Sports and Shakti TV. This is Newsfirst Prime Time News. I am Shahin Jurangpati.
And I am Inoshi Secretariat. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
Elections Commissioner expresses his displeasure over the situation in Monoragala. More than 36 hours since a girl went missing in Nikadalupota. 6 police teams looking for a trace of the missing child. Opposition questions government in parliament as to why it is operating to adopt the Japanese standard for TV digitalization without consensus. An exchange of words between the chief government whip and the chair over the lack of quorum in parliament. Is there a photography enterprise underway in the Higher Education Ministry's leadership training program? An Action TV expose.
In your top story tonight, over 36 hours have lapsed since the disappearance of 4-year-old Pamara Keshani Bandara of Nikathalupotha, Kurunegala. However, no information has come to light about the disappearance of the child. According to the police, 6 teams have been deployed to conduct investigations into the disappearance.
Pamara Keshani Bandara Vijay Kon, who lives in this house, went missing last morning. Investigations were launched by the police as soon as they received word of the disappearance. However, they are yet to find the child. Newsfirst travelled to the area today and witnessed many 80 residents arriving at the residence of the missing girl.
My sister's child is like my own child. So at a situation like this, I request every official that the law be implemented further and that a more extensive investigation be carried out to ease our pain, the pain of our relatives and of our family members. So it would send a message to the rest of the country that the law of this country is good and strong and that we have a good police force.
Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rona noted that a CID team was also dispatched from Colombo today to aid in the investigation process. Statements have been recorded from 10 persons, including the missing child's father, with regard to the disappearance. President Mahinda Rajapaksa has reportedly said that he is open to discussing the implementation of the 13th Amendment in talks with the TNA. The president had reportedly made these remarks in an interview with India's The Hindu newspaper. Suhashini Haidar, diplomatic and strategic affairs editor at India's The Hindu newspaper, posted on Twitter that President Mahinda Rajapaksa had said in an interview that he is open to discussing the implementation of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution with the exception of police powers in talks with the Tamil National Alliance. The president had also reportedly said that Sri Lanka will never forget the support rendered by India to defeat the LTTE.
Now, the Elections Commissioner Mahinda Deshapriya says that he is not ready to hold the UA Provincial Council elections in 2 days. At a media briefing convened at the Election Secretariat today, Deshapriya made the following statement on the matter.
The question everyone is asking is if the election for 2 districts are being held simultaneously and if there is enough time. According to provisions in the Act, the elections cannot be held for one district separately. We have no intention of postponing the election. Who can say that a peaceful election can be held in Monoragala? Can it at least be held in a manner close to the situation that was witnessed in Galle, Colombo, Kalutara, Gampaha, or at least in Hambantota? There is a certain issue. I am not trying to postpone or instill fear. I need to solve this matter. This is why I am saying this. We say that the situation in Monoragala is far from normal. That is how it should be said. It is not extremely bad. Based on the complaints and observations that have been made, the situation there could be considered as far from normal, and police officers have promised that they are doing their level best to bring this situation under control.
Meanwhile, Janata Vimukti Peramuna charged in Parliament yesterday that underworld groups from outside areas are obstructing election activities in the Monoragala district.
ජනාධිපති ආරක්ෂක ඒකකෙන් නිල වශයෙන් වෙන් කරලද වාහන ගෙන ගිහිල්ලා ඉතාවක කීමෙන් කියන්නේ
Vehicles that have been officially allocated for the Presidential Security Division have been taken there. I am making this statement with the utmost responsibility. Thugs have been taken there. Underworld groups from Colombo and Suriwewa have been taken there. They move around dressed in black t-shirts, in black defenders that have no license plates. Why are they inflicting terror on the people? If you have indeed developed the Uva province and if you have the young king in charge, then why do you need to take defenders with no license plates, wear black t-shirts and strike fear into the people? If you have rebuilt the country and if you have developed the country, then go tell that story to the people there. Afterwards, the people will decide. Have you prepared for an election? Please tell this country, if they can roam around freely with firearms, if underworld groups can roam around freely, and if they can shoot people on sight, then is it an election? They can't look at an office without setting it on fire. They can't look at the color red without setting it on fire. They can't look at a red-colored stage without setting it on fire. Have they sent the fire gods from Hambantota to Monragala?
Even though Andhra Kumara has not mentioned it, there was one instance where I saw persons from political parties connected to the government who had come from outside areas. Until I can catch them with certainty, as the Elections Commissioner, I cannot say that they are underworld persons who have gone from Colombo and Hambantota. They cannot be identified for certain. If there are thugs and underworld figures there, then it is the duty of the police to prevent their actions. The key problem today is each person identifying their duties.
Police Rajagari. අද තියෙන ප්‍රධානම ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි තමන්ගේ රාජකාරිය මොකද්ද අනුන්ගේ රාජකාරිය මොකද්ද කෑ ගහන්න ඕනේ හොරු පැන්නම ඒක අයිති මිනිහා මිසක් අනික් මිනිහා නෙවෙයිනේ බෑ මට පුළුවන්ද
Can I go around stopping vehicles to check for thugs? Do I have that power? I have informed the police of this.
මම ඉල්ලලා තියෙනවා පොලිසියෙන්
එහෙම ප්‍රචණ්ඩයක් වළක්වන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැත්නම්
If we do not have the ability to prevent incidents of violence, then it will become a state of terror there. And that has not happened, has it? In terms of incidents, 56 incidents have been reported to the police. We have done our duty and already arrested 40 persons in connection with these incidents. We are taking action within the legal framework and will continue to do so in the future. If someone says that the police do not have control of the situation, then that is wrong.
Meanwhile, at a meeting with the Elections Commissioner today, the Jataka Sangha Sammelana warned that if the situation in Uva is not brought under control, there is a danger of it leading to loss of life.
We have great doubt that if this election continues in this way, then there could be even murders in the coming weeks. A presidential election will be held in the future. This is a decisive election for all parties. Each candidate is spending in excess of 100 million on this election. Alcohol is being distributed like food is given at dansals. We have informed the Elections Commissioner. If this situation continues, it could create a state of terror.
මේ තත්වය දිගින් දිගටම ගියොත් මෙවැනි බිහිසුණු තත්වයක් ඇති විය හැකි
සුදුසු පුද්ගලයන් කවුද කියලා හොඳට හඳුනාගෙන ඔබේ වටින ඡන්දේ
Cast your valuable vote after carefully determining who the suitable candidates are. Do not think about which party they are from. When unqualified persons are elected, the country will never be developed. The province will not be served. We heard that robes were being distributed at some viharas recently during the Poya Day. We heard that food was being distributed with the names and numbers of the candidates. We wonder whether these are indeed good deeds that these people are doing.
සිල්රෙදි බෙදා දෙනවා ඒ වගේම කෑම් බෙදා දෙනවා මේ අපේක්ෂකයන්ගේ නම ගහලා අංකේ ගහලා මේ මිනිස්සු මේ පින්කම්ද කරගන්නේ කියලා අපට හිතෙනවා.
The Election Secretariat has received 41 complaints regarding public officials being used for political activities in the run-up to the Uva Provincial Council election. The complaints in it at the Secretariat notes that 4 complaints have been lodged with regard to the misuse of state property. The Election Secretariat has received a total of 201 complaints so far in the run-up to the poll, while 128 of these complaints have been lodged from the Monragala district. Newsfirst Lakmal Kirindagala from the Newsfirst Uva Election Bureau reports on the situation in the Monragala district ahead of the election.
Preparations are in full swing in the Monragala district for the Uva Provincial Council elections. The Newsfirst team, which visited the District Assistant Elections Commissioner's office, witnessed firsthand the hustle and bustle at the office.
Newsfirst
The Newsfirst Election Bureau is at the office of the Assistant Elections Commissioner of Monragala. Even as we speak, behind me, preparations are underway for the elections. If we take into consideration the preparation work that took place in the Monragala district today, we did not receive a single report of election law violations or any other type of illegal activity. What we also saw was that all parties contesting the election are carrying out their campaign from door to door in a peaceful manner. So this was the mood in the Monragala district today.
The Newsfirst team also visited the Uvavelasa Freedom Struggle Memorial and witnessed how the memorial too had been used for election campaigning.
Now, on a related note, Newsfirst Samara Sri Bandara at the Newsfirst Election Bureau filed this report from the Badulla district.
ඌව කාර්යාංශයේ අපි අද බදුල්ල දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ බොහෝ ප්‍රදේශවල සංචාරය කළා. විශේෂයෙන්ම සඳහන් කරන්න ඕන කාරණේ තමයි පහුගිය දිනවලදී අපි සඳහන් කළා වගේ
The Newsfirst Election Bureau toured several areas in the Badulla district today. An important factor that should be mentioned is that posters, cutouts and banners that were seen on either side of the road over the past few days were taken down by the police within a short span of time. However, when we moved away from the city towards rural areas, several illegal campaign officers, posters and banners were seen, especially these walls which are on either side of the road which leads to the city. Also, an important factor that needs to be mentioned is that when we were moving around the city, we saw many unregistered vehicles with garage number plates being driven around. Vehicles like these are quite common as of late. Furthermore, at around 1:20 this morning, the police had received a complaint that a member of the JVP had been assaulted. Similar reports have been received from the Badulla district over the past few days, where a group of JVP supporters were attacked while putting up posters in the area. These are the reports that the Newsfirst Election Bureau has on the situation in the Badulla district.
And up next is Newsline.
ඉදිරියේදී පැවැත්වීමට නියමිත ජාතික මැතිවරණ පෙරහැරේ පෙරගමන.
The upcoming Uva Provincial Council polls can be categorized as a herald signaling the arrival of several other elections. Venerable Tero, has the search for the common candidate for the presidential poll stalled because of this poll?
පොදු අපේක්ෂකයාගේ සොයා ගැනීම සොයා යාම යටපත් වෙලාද තියෙන්නේ.
ඇත්තටම ටිකක් යටපත් වුණාට මොකද ඒක ජනතාව අතර තියෙන විශාල බලාපොරොත්තුවක්. මම හිතා ඌව පළාත් සභා මැතිවරණයේදී ජනතාවට තව තවත්
It has stalled a bit. However, this is an aspiration of the public. I believe that even through the over-election, people will show the need for a common candidate and the need to address several key issues during the presidential election. Let's take this as an example. They annulled the 17th Amendment by bringing in the 18th Amendment. One point mentioned in the 17th Amendment was the fact that elections need to be conducted under an independent elections commission. The over-election shows us clear indications that the Elections Commissioner is stranded. At one point, he mentioned that these incidents cannot be stopped even if Lord Buddha, Jesus Christ or Prophet Muhammad make an appearance.
Is it the Elections Commissioner that has been stranded or seems lost? Or is it the people who have hopes and aspirations of a common candidate? The talk about a common candidate seems to be falling apart.
I believe that the importance of a common candidate is emphasized with each passing day.
Now these issues need to be rectified. But why aren't people getting together to create an opinion that they want to rectify these issues?
It is clear that discussions are taking place. However, they are being held separately. The United National Party is saying that a new constitution is needed and that the executive presidency should be changed. The LSSP, the Communist Party, Minister Vasudeva Nanayakkara, the TNA and the JVP, they are all saying the same thing. This is a serious need for everyone.
ප්‍රබලව මේ කරගෙන කවුද නොකියන්නේ මේ පිළිබඳව? සියල්ලන්ගේම බරපතල අවශ්‍යතාවයක් මේක.
හාමුදුරනේ එහෙම කිව්වට දැන් අපේ හාමුදුරුවෝ
There was a rumor that spread stating that you would be contesting as the common candidate. Then certain party leaders said they would contest alone and that they had separate plans. When such statements are made, how do the people rally around a common goal?
කොහොමද මේ නැවතත් මේ පොදු අරමුණක් කරා එක්කහුව වෙන්නේ ජනතාව?
ඒක තාමත් මේක දෝලණය වෙමින් පවතින.
This is a topic that is still being debated. This discussion is nearing the conclusion of a common candidate slowly but surely. The common candidate is not important for us. What is important is a common policy.
ශිෂ්‍යකේ වැදගත් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. අපට වැදගත් වෙන්නේ පොදු ප්‍රතිපත්තිය.
අපේ හාමුදුරුවෝ සූදා.
If a common request is made asking you to contest for the presidential poll, are you ready to contest and triumph these common issues?
මේ කියන පොදු අරමුණ ජය ගන්න.
ඇත්තටම අපගේ අපේ යෝජනාව තියෙන්නේ අපි එකට මේ එක
Our proposal is let us get together and discuss this issue. Let's discuss these three main issues and select a common candidate. It could be me or some other national leader. That is not the issue. What is important is the common goal.
Now, for more of the views expressed by Venerable Madhuluwave Sobita Thera, tune into the main news bulletin at 10 o'clock tonight on our sister channel Citizen TV. Now, you can also watch the complete interview on Final Cut unedited following the news at 10 on Citizen TV, or you can watch the interview on our website www.Newsfirst.lk. But in the meantime, let's now take a look at the battle for Uber.
Paste posters at the rate in which they are being covered up. They bring container loads of posters. Then what should we do to make the people remember our numbers? Walls belonging to people are covered in posters. Don't tear them up because maybe they support that candidate. If they can't get the votes this time, they could at least get the votes the next time.
Soisa is like a snake who has been sprayed with kerosene. He has forgotten what he is saying and he has accidentally stated the real situation. He shouted that I said that there is a bar under his wife's name. Later he stated that there are not one but 3 bars. I found them the next day. Now the total stands at 33.
They're traveling from village to village and speaking of a list of bars. When we go to villages, we speak about lists of development activities that we have done. We don't speak about other people's mistakes. We don't have magical powers. We are not hoodwinking the people, nor are we spreading false propaganda. If all this takes place, then either the people are fools or the people making these statements are fools.
People cast their votes despite their hunger just so they can say this is our government. What have they done for the 4.5 million people that vote for the betel leaf? They too beat the same hunger and suffer from the same difficulties. We are calling on the people who vote for the betel leaf to think intelligently.
The opposition wants the government to commit mistakes and suffer because of it. When you are suffering, then they will come ask for your vote.